Akshay Dongre, who's joining us. He's right by the police station. As the police intensifies this probe, Akshay, we believe some new details have emerged, and one being that this man, Aftab, has confessed he's not only butchered Shraddha, he's also managed to burn the skull after chopping it off so that none can identify her. And then he's disposed it off in an undisclosed location, which the police is still trying to find. Do tell us, this skull that we believe the police have found in Pandav Nagar, how are they going to understand and know that this is Shraddha's or not? And has that skull that they found been burnt?
Well, Nabila, first of all, the location to Pandav Nagar from where we are standing right now, so we are outside Mehroli police station, and somewhere around 2 kilometers from here is the place where Aftab used to live. Now, on my phone, I have just turned on the maps, and you can see the distance between Mehroli to Pandav Nagar is somewhere around 20 kilometers. And the distance, the time that is required to travel from here to Pandav Nagar, that too in a car, that too in a cab, will be somewhere around 45 minutes. So it's quite a distance from here till Pandav Nagar. And if that skull that has been found, and if that is in fact after DNA analysis that is found to be of Shraddha Walkar, that is going to be a huge thing, because then that will prove that Aftab was not just traveling to the nearby location, he was traveling to distant locations, carrying a skull with him to dispose it off just a day after the murder. Because as you are and as the police police sources are telling us, the skull that has been found in Pandav Nagar area was found just a day after the murder date of Shraddha Walkar. That is going to be an extremely disturbing thing, that this man was carrying a skull with him and disposing it off to a location as far as 20 kilometers away from his house. So that surely shows that he had no remorse, no fear of law, anything at all in his head. And that is going to be a very chilling thing. But all of that can only be proved after the DNA analysis. The police is tight-lipped about details about this case, and the skull that has been found, there can only be a DNA analysis, because even if the skull was burnt somewhere around 6 months back, most of it would have decomposed by now.
Right.
So that is going to be a challenge, but only a DNA analysis. That is the only key to find that whether the skull is of Shraddha or not. Nabila?
All right, that's Akshay Dongre, who is right outside the police station as the investigation intensifies. And Rahul Gautam also joining us outside Aftab's residence. Rahul, we believe there's multiple evidences that the police have found in the latest, and one being a vacuum cleaner, which Aftab has bought soon after the murder to clean up all the small tiny particles in the house, also to clean up spots of blood and dirt. Besides that, we believe he's also used bleaching powder to extensively rub off the floor and make it squeaky clean, trying to destroy all possible evidence, making it difficult for the police now.
Well, certainly this is the latest development now coming to the fore, that that there is a vacuum cleaner which was allegedly used by Aftab. In fact, the wrapper or the box in which this vacuum cleaner was delivered is right outside the very door of first floor where Aftab was staying. But I also want to highlight a very important aspect of this entire episode. These are two water pumps. You can see this clearly written 1 and 2. Now 1 here stands for first floor, where Aftab used to stay with Shraddha. Now, given the fact that police is now telling us that Aftab was using excessive amount of water, high volumes of waters, was being used by Aftab, which is quite unusual for somebody who was staying alone. And given the fact that the other 2 floors, which are also occupied by tenants, were not using that much amount of water, which clearly shows. Now I'm just going to show you the vacuum cleaner's box, which is lying right outside the door. As you can see now, this is the box, vacuum cleaner box, which is right outside the door of Aftab. This is the same room where Aftab was staying with Shraddha, and which has obviously now become a crime scene following the disappearance of Shraddha and the alleged murder. Now, obviously, police is looking into all possible angles. Yesterday, we also showed that how there was a surgical glove wrapper that was also, lying there at crime scene, which only shows that how meticulously. This entire thing was planned by Aaftab, and how normally he was behaving, because there's hardly any neighbor who could recall, meeting or talking with Aaftab. There's only one person who was confirmed presence of Shraddha here at this apartment. So obviously this seems to be a well calculated, a premeditated conspiracy of Aaftab, and this only makes the entire things very difficult, because obviously the police would now be requiring to recover these elements.